Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for an epic discussion video. So, if you will, this is like a part 2 of the season 3 discussion video I had. I know putting that out earlier, probably even earlier today. Feel free to go and check it out, but this is part 2, if you will. So, sitting and after having that discussion video, just talking about stuff, even with season 3, sitting and ruminating, because I've been hyping it up for some time. This is going to be dark. This is going to be a wild season. Season 3 of Beyblade is always dark. With the Plastic Gen, we got Brooklyn and Zeus. With Metal Fight, we had the entire Nemesis Crisis and the Legendary Bladers. And then with Burst, we had Phi. And just Cho-Z in general. Phi with his Lord of Destruction arc and the build up to that, which was nuts, man. Like Fafnir and Spriggan and Baze, such as getting just wrecked. And it was, yeah, insane. So, another discussion video on season 3 or arc 3 of Beyblade X. Feel free to go check out the first part. This is going to be an expansion of things. So, just how they built up this story with everything with Chrome and the Underworld Bladers and Bido. And then now you got Kurosu Zero. You got like just the rogueness of Omega. You got Persona at the top, but still not seeing themselves at the very top because they're like, we got to beat the Pendragon from back then, you know. So just to build up with that alone. So let's get into it, dude. Persona and Pendragon. We know the story since season 1, the build up to where Persona narrowly lost in Slash Tower and Pendragon won, basically putting them like, I'd say second power wise, but becoming the champs now because they did take out Zodiac, but Pendragon has since kind of disbanded. Shigeru and Seal being together, but with Genro, and you know he's going to help them train. He has Wolf Hunt, so you know damn well that like we're going to get a new Tiger, which I see a UX Tiger. It's time for Shigeru to get a new Bay, man. And she's even hinted at it with, like, the last time we saw her when she was going on a training journey with Genro. Hinting at it, getting stronger. And even with Multi, because Multi won against her the last time. They're 1-1, so it's tied with them lately, like, since they both become pros. And it's going to be exciting, like a UX Tiger, even a CX Tiger. Either one would be really, really damn dope. You know, Common Z has Shelter Drake. So, you know, him having only BX bays currently. Maybe he'll get a UX bay or a CX. I don't know if they'll do like another Drake or like if it'll be like Black Shell, if you will. Like a UX or a CX version of it. But yeah, at least they still have the story with Shelter Drake, because I don't think they've fully shown off things with it. They kind of have, but at the same time, not, because he's lost, but like it's a newer Bay that we saw in season 2. And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see with him. But definitely Shigeru, I can imagine getting a new Bay. Wouldn't be surprised if he did at some point. It felt like they went with a story with like Seal and Chrome. Like they have the similar parts and everything. So imagine like Seal goes down the dark path and like gets possessed by like the demon dragon or something, because that's a big time thing that they even hinted at. And what if they both were like, they combine their powers or something? That would be pretty freaking wild, like if something crazy went on with that, because they like hinted at a bunch of stuff with the underworld and such with Bido. Speaking of which, him having his own Bay, like Bido, the way they built this man up, and he's strong, and Chrome even said he's like the strength of a pro blader at like the top of the tower, I believe. So like it's only a matter of time before he gets like his own Bay, I think. Like his design and everything, and just how he's as a character, dude, he's gotta have some kind of Bay. I feel like we're getting a Nemesis homage with this for sure. I can imagine him having it, or like maybe Zero, who knows, man. But it's gonna get dark. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to things with this, because, you know, Persona and Pendragon, that whole story, Chrome having Impact Drake and being possessed by the Demon Dragon himself. Shieru or Z almost did, but then he felt the power of the Bay and he was like, but he has Shelter Drake, you know. But Impact Drake, he was like, damn. So yeah, I think they showed him Impact Drake, and the power of it itself was like, holy shit. But yeah, just Chrome being possessed by Impact Drake, but I see him being on his Ryuga arc. It's like how Ryuga had the dark power and freed himself from its control. I can imagine Chrome going down some kind of journey like this, and he's just kind of like becoming one with the power of the dragon, but then he's going to overcome it. And won't be surprised, like there's a quote-unquote trademark name, Meteor Dragoon. They're being very careful with left rotation so that doesn't break the game or the meta or anything. They want it to be balanced, like how this game as far as this balance. I made videos on it talking about like parts I want to see, the state of it, and everything. Yeah, feel free to go and check them out. I said enough with them, but wouldn't be surprised if Chrome went down that type of approach. He's like that anti-hero type of level with things. I don't see him being fully evil, like fully evil, like X is a Kurosu, like the Kurosu clan, I should say, not X. But yeah, X having some really wild power, which we'll get into that. Like I said, it's a whole entire like iceberg, the way that they built this up. The story with Chrome, the build up with Pendragon having new bays, getting stronger, and Ginro, helping to train them. Because it's literally the Kurosu clan against the entire other tower. So they're going against everybody. Even Pendragon, like Seal and Shiguru were watching that. And you know that like they talked with Ginro and probably got info about the Underworld Bladers and everything like that. Because like imagine a showdown with Seal and Chrome. Like they face off. And maybe Chrome wins against Seal, but then X shows up. And it's like Common Y. That would be a sick way to have this story wrap back around, Like Common Z trying to break through to Common Y. Chrome had the Common Y mask on, like it's his alias. Like he's gonna go under that for this season because nobody knows who he is except for a select few people. It's like how it is with X, and even less so for the Kurosu clan. Nobody knows what Zero looks like, and that's the fucking craziest part about it. Like, yeah, just the build of that. As mysterious as X and Y are, Zero is totally like I don't think anybody knows what he looks like, what he actually looks like. The other like Kurosu's, his kids probably don't even know what he looks like, which is a crazy ass thought to think about. Or maybe they do, bruh. But regardless, yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts how they're doing this. But Z faces Y. Y wins against Z, but then X shows up, and then we have a showdown with Y and X, and it's the crazy showdown Chrome versus Xu, we saw the battle where they were unmasked, which they obviously like had before he left Pendragon. The battle where one of them was masked, X, against Chrome, and then the next battle they have, like, they hinted at like the battle happening, but Chrome was like, nah, not at this stage because you'd lose easily. But then he was still underestimating X, which is the theme. Still underestimating X, believe it or not, as strong as he is. Chrome underestimated him, and he made him pay for it. X made him pay for it as Common X, and he beat Chrome, even with Cobalt Dragoon and all of his emotions and everything put in with it, which is wild, dude. Really wild. But then now, the battle with them, the destined rematch for them to show down when they're both masked. X versus Y. And then this battle being so intense, we get some Louis Red Eye type shit where one of their masks breaks. Or maybe it would be insane if both of them did, but at least one of them. And I can imagine it being Y. And then it's revealed that it's Chrome. And then maybe that's where Chrome fully turns to the side of good or such, or kinda. Maybe he stays an anti-hero, but the point is he's not on the side of the Kurosu clan or Zero. Now, this is where this rabbit hole gets even crazier. Because we obviously have the Underworld. AKA, I'd say it's like elements of Season 3 of Metal Fight. Because Zero being in the shadows this entire time until shit's about to get crazy and there's a bunch of destruction to begin. Pluto. How he was the puppet master behind Hades Inc. and Dr. Ziggurat. And then Doji, of course, being a part of it because he was a part of the Dark Nebula. And they made that all come full circle with things. Everything they did before leading to the revival of Nemesis. But it was a lot of it under wraps. Pluto being in the background. Who do we see like this during Burst? And it's sad because they never expanded the story with him, which it would have been wild if they would have and had this man come back into things. That would have been like amazing storytelling. But Theodore in Season 2, how he's the puppet master of the Snake Pit. Red Eye was like his number one, but he was the true puppet master of it. They had so much wasted potential with this in Burst because if they would have had him come back with some shit, like even if it was like Lane, like imagine like, even if it was like, hey, Lane got this power because he came from a lab that Ashton had and literally put him through this like type of project, like the Requiem project, and made him this strong to where he can even take out these legends. That story would have made Lane's story that much more crazy and would have put Ashton back into things and would have made season 5 that much more wild. Not that it wasn't good, but you know, still. But you get the point that I'm making with it. Like, this man is the puppeteer behind all of it. And Zero, not only with the kids and the other tower, the whole damn underworld. So Ginro, knowing these underworld bladers, Zero, if you think about this, this is the underworld rising up, because they hinted at it before. The whole underworld is rising up. The tower came from underground. It's in darkness. All of this was made and created like underground, and the underworld is rising up, literally in the form of the second X. So you see how this rabbit hole is getting even further, but then Zero being the puppet master of all of this, we basically have this season's Ash Shimmer Theodore with him. Also, just the confidence and such that he has, like the confidence that Arthur had when he came in during Burst. Like, yeah. And then seeing the demeanors of all the kids and how they're going to battle. Already seeing 8 show up, like his demeanor. Yeah, it's wild. But then, of course, with this 9 turning against Zero and the Kurosu clan and going to X for help. She thought that there was a 10th sibling. Now, this is where this rabbit hole gets even more wild. Yes, we have the entire tower. So let's talk about the first tower. Slash and Solidus basically all united. They made them all, if you will, face or good characters at the end, because building up this second tower where you're gonna have all of the like darkness, underworld, underground bladers rising up and such from it. And whoever transfers from like the original tower over to the other tower, which we'll see how it goes, man. All those characters, you have a bunch of different teams: Yggdrasil, Zuganic, Misleaders, Goldius, Pendragon, the Remnants, of course, with Ginro, Team Dreams with Quinn, you know. You got a lot of different teams. Also, like, even, you know, on the other tower, like I said, Misleaders, Goldius, what there is of Team Zodiac, which would be wild to see them all return. Like, yeah. We didn't see Lance and Emily in battle that much. Like, even if they just have Cerberus and Perseus, like, that would be fine. Omega returning, because it would be dope to see like a BX Pegasus. I can imagine them doing it. Like, we have CX, we have UX, a BX one. Imagine a BX Pegasus. They focus on like the weight with it, give it high 30s in grams. Like, give that thing 38, 39 grams with the shape, whatever it has. And then you give it something like, I'm calling it Rubber Vortex, because it's like R squared F. Literally your homage to fucking Storm Pegasus and Galaxy Pegasus with it, while bringing Omega back and such. But Chrome and Omega returning, 2 of the hype characters to return in this season for sure. Yeah. So all those teams I listed, as well as the characters I listed, all being a part of this. Tenka coming back with a CX Samurai, that can make things wild. And they're all fighting on the side of like this tower, because things are going to get that devastating. Like, we got the whole Kurosu clan. They're just showing off some of the first ones now. We've seen, on the next episode, it's 3 and 4 showing up with Eclipse. You know, with Soul Eclipse. They're both having it with the different modes, which is going to be wild to see. We've seen 8 with Clock Mirage. I think X is going to beat him. You know, 8 going in super confident. And then X is like, I don't care. Let's go. Let's battle. And X is going to humble 8. Because, like, X being probably the strongest of them all. So this is where the rabbit hole gets even further. Not only the war between the towers, now we got the family dynamic here. Zero said that he had like 9 kids, right? 9 total kids. When in reality, X, he has 10. And 9 is the one, like, Zero tried to keep that away for a long time. Maybe he just didn't see X's true potential with anything, and literally it's a sad story, and it's like he literally orphaned X because he's like, he doesn't have the potential and such that the other kids have, and literally just said go with Genro. Like, yeah, Genro can take care of you, I don't want to take care of him, which, that's a tragic story for X, man. Everybody's favorite, like, fun blader that loves sitting there eating sushi. Shows the dynamic of like a really, really awesome character having a really tough backstory with things, because that's fucking hard, man. And even saying he didn't know his actual father. And there was like, he knew Genro and Chrome and like those that he met in X City. That's what he remembers, is just going around X City and battling. And just has it truly in his heart. And And that's why it feels like Chrome kind of might know things, because like Zero even underestimating X and doing that, and when he finds out the true story, he's gonna be like, "You're underestimating X," you know. But it's gonna get so wild. Chrome's gonna be a part of things, like all these characters being a part of things, but it's gonna truly show who's the strongest with this. And we're gonna see like Chrome, Omega, all these characters come back and get a true list of like who are the true strongest bladers with this. Yeah, because it's not just like team battles or anything. It's literally like war on towers. It's the X City Civil War. So it's like, you know, the original tower versus the Kurosu Tower, the Underworld Tower, the Underblader Tower, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, or Under Pro Tower, whatever the hell the term is, you know. But the family dynamic was zero. Literally, maybe saw X as the weakest one, completely discarded him, didn't even consider him a Kurosu. That's why he didn't have him in the tower. And then X going to X City with Ginro from there. But Ginro always seeing the potential and being like, Zero, you're a fool. You are underestimating your son. And you're going to sit and you're going to pay for it one day, because this kid literally has the power that is inhuman. And you think that he doesn't, and you're underestimating him. So Ginro knows even a lot at this stage, and that's why he's going to be a badass character with this, and they've already built him up big time just with that alone, because he knows a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that's going to happen. That's why they hardly showed him with the second season, because he's going to be shining in this third season, man, as a big time part of things as well. And he's probably going to help those in like the regular tower understand stuff from the Underbladers, or like the Dark Tower and stuff. And then the rabbit hole is going to get even further as we see all the kids revealed, all their bays revealed. It looks like Five's up next. His design, he was sitting behind Zero, but like he had a V on his shirt, so I'm guessing that's Five. And it looked like it's a design. That would make sense, because they all have designs and elements in like their hair or their design, which is so cool. Like 8 with his checkered, you know, with the checkered, what the hell is it, bandana that he has. 9 with the hair, with like the hair streak going down and the X's in it, literally the Roman numeral 9. And like I said, 8 with a bandana, X with Kurosu, the X in his hair, and also the X later X mask, you know, was a cool alias, which is so fucking cool. They did the double entendre with that. Yeah, 3 and 4. 3's hair, it shows. 4 with the swirl in her hair, that shows there. And then it looks like 5 with the V in the shirt. And then there's another one that, like, he had glasses. I don't know if that's, like, it's either 1, 2, what? Yeah, 1, 2, 6, or 7 at this stage would be them. And I'm guessing it'll probably be either 2 or 6, the way that these designs are and such. But I guess we got to see in time, and they'll probably even show 5's Bay. I won't be surprised if 5's Bay is in the next random booster. We got a couple of days. Probably things are going to drop the next day or two. I won't even be surprised, but then officially drop in less than a week. And 5's Bay is the random booster prize Bay. I wouldn't be too surprised. But, yeah. Everything with all the kids. And they have to work their way through beating all of them. Because if they take out the Kurosus, then that'll force Zero's hand. And it's going to be wild because, like, this man is going to be devious. I'm getting some Dark Nebula vibes. Like, he's got these trainers showing up here and now, but then, like, the ones that we haven't seen yet being his true, like, weapons. You know what I mean? Like, power-wise, bladers. This, we're going to see, like, the darker, like, more devious side of things. Like, how the Dark Nebula, like, how Doji brought in Reggie, you know. And, of course, Ryuga, but then Reggie going in and, like, causing chaos during battle bladers. That type of element with this as well. Because it's like 1, 2, 6, and 7 left. You know damn well 2 and 1. Yeah. 1. Like, it's the number 1 that he trained up. This is going to be wild, man. The season's going to get that much darker as it goes. They already started the tone. Holy shit. And it's dark. They've already established that. The symbolism with the rain coming down, the darkness coming down over the darkness of the X Tower, naming it destruction. They set that tone in 1 episode. And then, like, the second one, oh, man. Yeah. That much more. 9 being, like, the warning. And then, the second episode, everything hitting the fan. But, yeah, it's going to be wild. As we get there with like 1, 2, 6, and 7 being introduced. And then when all the kids go down, it's going to force Zero's hand. And then when Zero goes in, whatever bay he has is going to be nuts. I know Valkyrie Volt's a thing. thus far, every rare Bay has ended up being the antagonist Bay, or an evolution of it, I mean. So we had Cobalt Drake, Cobalt Dragoon with Chrome, Arrow Pegasus, Pegasus Blast with Omega. Now we got Valkyrie Volt. I don't think that 9 has Valkyrie Volt. 9 has Emperor Might. But like Valkyrie Volt, I see 0 having Valkyrie Volt. I can imagine that. But then an evolution for it coming later on, it's an homage to Valkyrie. Obviously, like the main homage for like a specific season. Cobalt Drake, Cobalt Dragoon, Dragoon. Arrow Pegasus, Pegasus Blast, Pegasus, Galaxy Pegasus, Big Bang, etc. Valkyrie Volt. Valkyrie. Now we got the burst one with this. So if the pattern continues and they don't switch it up, the antagonist having like Valkyrie Volt or like an evolution of it. If 9 had it, how would 9 do it? Unless they pull some like Kid Maru type shit where like they call her the weakest, but in reality he sees her as the strongest, but then just sat and did these games to go and make her stronger, bring out her true power and to truly grow being around Persona and such. It's twisted. No matter what, Zero's plan is going to get really, really dark, and he's literally using his 9 kids to do so, and then it's going to force his hand, and this man's going to snap. Rago, when he snapped. Brooklyn, when he snapped. Fi, or Lane, or these type of evils in Burst, when they snapped. But especially like Season 3, Fi, how he lost it. Bro. When Zero debuts with things, it's going to be insane. But the build-up and everything is obviously on the Kurosus. They still have more of them to show. And it's going to be wild, man. We're in for a wild ride. Imagine, like I said, before this season even started, check back in a year on what I've said. And it'd be like, yo, see how much of it happened? It could age like milk, or it could age like wine. Who knows? I just love making theories and such with these, but with the details that they've given us and things to go off of, if they go down this path, even remotely with how this is, man, it's going to be wild. The story with X being orphaned by them, but then X fighting through, and then he's the one that makes it to Zero. But then Zero acting like he completely outsmarted X, and then explaining why he orphaned him and the whole story behind it just to mess with X. It'll be like some Ryuga talking some shit to Jenga type moment, where Jenga got pissed and faced Ryuga, but then played into his hands, giving him a lot of power. Enough said. X, Zero, that battle. The story, we get the true story, and also a question of where's the mom. You got all the kids. It would be so insane if the mom returned and like had a baby or something. That would be one of the most badass things too. But yeah, regardless, there's going to be a lot of crazy moments with this. You talk about Chrome, Omega, and Tenka returning, the Underworld rising up, all the X's, Persona, as well as everybody else in the X, getting new bays, the showdown between the different sides, the big build-up to the major battles that are going to happen at the end of the season. You talk about blowing their budget, they're going to blow a shit ton of money on their budget for the animations for this season and the end of this season. Mark my words, man, I can feel it in my gut. It's how I felt like with Metal Masters, Metal Fury, but especially like Season 3, a Burst, getting to that point and everything. Like, oh my god. That's how I felt in 2018. Like the Beyblade brawl and everything going on, but just feeling the vibes of everything. I'm like, Burst. Chozi's gonna get really wild, man. The story's gonna be crazy. And sure enough, it was. And just with this, yeah, we're in a special time period. Remember this moment. It's like I said before this season even started. Remember this moment because things are about to get wild. This season's going to probably be a lot of people's favorites by the time the dust settles with everything. It's going to be nuts. And the bays are going to get the gimmicks and everything. Dude, I think all of the Kurosu bays are going to pay homage to past bays. And it would make sense. Like Valkyrie Volt, you know, whether it's Zero that has it or like an evolution of it or something. Dude, it's going to be so crazy. And it's going to be ironic because it's similar to the parts that X has. So it makes sense if Zero has it. And that's the showdown. Valkyrie Volt Dran Brave, and then he has like the H with it or something. Oh my god. Or some shit, dude. We'll have to see. But all the bays. X is Dran Brave. You got Valkyrie literally with that alone. Just like how Valkyrie Volt pays homage to Valkyrie. Dran Brave. Brave Valkyrie. Come on, man. Both of them being similar to like Valkyrie. Right there. 8's Bay, you know? Paying homage, I'd say, to Flame Bixis and Twisted Tempo. Both of them. 9, Emperor Might. I think she has Emperor Might, but you got like homage to Achilles a little bit with the bottom. You got homage to, I'd say, Baldur because of the shape on the outside, and also homage, I'd say, as well to Crown. Hades' crown, because it's got the crown on it, you know, Emperor Might with the crown. Which I think that's like a dope homage, like tying all those bays in there, man. But yeah. And then 3 and 4 having Soul Eclipse, Soul Blaze, Duo Eclipse. There you go. Burst and Metal Fight references with that one. Yeah. So what's another big one that'll be crazy to see? Need some bays that you want to see homage for that you can imagine them doing. My big one is Nemesis, because how strong it was. And Snake Pit's elements with Nemesis. Goldeye had twin Nemesis. He was the number 2 of the Snake Pit, the true number 2. Bo was number 3, but he was the true number 2 behind Red Eye. Nemesis. God of Destruction, Rago. Nemesis. So I can imagine a Nemesis homage with this, man. We got Leon a little bit. I mean, Leon Fang, you know. I mean, we got Pegasus Blast. So that being very similar to Big Bang. Yeah. They do a rubber turbo. You got Ultimate Reboot right there, or a true Final Drive. Will they do it? I don't know. It'll be wild if they do end up doing it. But the rest of the Kurosus have an homage to like Burst and Metal Fighter Plastic Gen bays, man. Yeah. I'm hyped. I'm really, really hyped for this. And just saying, if it goes any way remotely like this, it's going to be crazier than any of us could have ever expected. And that's the beauty of Beyblade. And that's just what makes things that much more wild. But with that, that's going to do it on the full-fledged discussion for Season 3. I probably won't have another one of these for some time. You know, I'll wait until at least probably the new year. With the new gloves, you can guess the color or colors in the comments. But yeah, so we're not ready, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Remember this moment. It's like I've said, Season 3 is gonna be something special. But with that, that's gonna do it for this discussion. Let me know your thoughts or theories on things you guys would want to see with Season 3 as well. Characters you want to see return. Basically mention all the characters I want to see return with this and such. So I was thinking of making a separate video on it. I'm like, there's no need. I already said so with this. Let me know in the comments characters you guys want to see return and events and stuff you guys want to see happen with this, or like ways that they pay homage. They already have big time with this because we've got some Snake Pit vibes with this. This is literally like the Snake Pit, except an X Tower version, and it's so fucking cool, and it's gonna be crazy how this ends up going. But yeah, like Bido's part within and everything is Bido's Zero's true assistant or something. What's their connection even? Because there's gonna be a lot of shit with this that's gonna get unraveled, and it's gonna be like, I see it's getting at least till episode 150. First season was 49. No, first season was 51. Second season was 49 and stopped at 100. So with this, it would make sense that they do 50 for this. And then after they do season 4, 50 for season 4. You got 200 episodes with that. Make it even 50 with this. But yeah, still, these 50 episodes are going to be wild. Look what they did in the first 2. Yeah, it's going to get real. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe to some other content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, stay awesome and go shoot or let it rip. I'm up out of here.